I'd like to talk about how design affects our physical, mental and emotional health and well-being. It has an enormous impact on the way that we eat, on what we choose to wear, on how we got here today. But more than that, I think that design can improve life, design can change life, and design can even save life. Through my research and practice, these include jewellery to administer insulin through the skin for diabetics, arsenic water vessels or water vessels to remove arsenic from drinking water, an extraordinary seed that you take, it's like a tablet, and it unravels like a flower in the digestive system to detect disease, a beautiful pod that helps you to adapt the user experience of your hearing aid, and emergency jewellery to identify allergies and identity in times of medical crisis. I'm really interested in intimate scale artefacts, and my projects are rarely larger than the palm of a hand. Central to all of my projects is the emotional relationship between people and their technologies. So this goes beyond the user experience of a device, beyond its visual or its tactile appeal, and beyond its functionality. I'm really thinking about the emotional bond that people have with their possessions. We all love things. Jewellery, clothing, knickknacks and mementos. This connection is far greater than material value. It's not about how much I bought this thing for. It's more got to do with memory and personal history. These personal artefacts connect us through space and time with loved ones, with distant spaces and with treasured memories. Example is a wedding ring and my mother's ring from the 60s. Understanding more about this type of emotional connection allows me to bring a deeper level of understanding to the design process. I think the task of the designer is to truly empathise with the final user, to be in their shoes when we're designing. As a designer working in this field, I have to trade places with these people. I have to experience their joy, their shame, their humiliation, their stigma. And I have to do something with it, and something productive with that. So with this knowledge, I can embark on the design process to create a device that seamlessly integrates with the life of the final user. A technology that they might grow to love, like a favourite ring or scarf, something that they actually want to use, rather than feel like, I've got to use this, I really hate it, it totally sucks, but it's keeping me alive. I want to create this kind of relationship where someone's like, actually, I really love this, it's okay, it's part of my life and it's part of me. Once I have a clear feeling about the emotional space that a new device might open up, I can start to create. Empathy is also key to my relationships with collaborators. Transdisciplinary collaboration is a driving force behind everything that I do and everything that I've done for the last 10 years. So I created these jewellery-based wearables to use Nanovic's transdermal patches, 10 millimetres across and 2 millimetres thick, and it's got between 1 and 10,000 microneedles on its surface. The patches enable pain-free and continuous delivery of therapeutic drugs such as insulin through the skin. So basically, instead of having to inject, the insulin can just make its way through the skin via these tiny nano needles. So basically what they had was an incredibly beautiful and clever technology, but they didn't have such a beautiful way of applying it to the body. Because it's a very, very gorgeous piece of technology, but you can't press it on just with your thumb. You need to apply it in some way. So that's when I started to think about jewellery as device and created this agIdeas jewellery range. And really a lot of this process was about taking that giant blue rocket launcher and talking to the engineers and to the nanotechnologists and saying, how small can we get it? No, not that small, not that small, not that small. I want it to be that small. I want it to be tiny. I want it to look like a piece of jewellery. Can we do that? And the answer is sort of, oh, yeah, maybe no, probably not. But, through persistence, we whittled and whittled and whittled and realised that we could make it really small so that it's not going to weigh 10 kilos. They're like, oh, it could be a necklace. It's only 6 kilos. Like, no, it has to be really, really small. So rather than having to inject insulin with a syringe, the wearer has simply to apply the preloaded patch to the inside of the finger with their neck piece and position the ring to keep it in place. agIdeas jewellery is made to look like contemporary jewellery and is also a drug delivery mechanism. This gives the power of disclosure back to the user to reveal the hidden functionality of the jewellery or to leave it in the realm of aesthetic ornament. The project was really interesting and I think very successful on a whole range of levels. From a technological viewpoint, it pushed some boundaries as a successful collaboration between artists, engineers and scientists, because that's pretty hard terrain. But I think most successful, it started to open up new territory and conversations about what devices could be. Why couldn't an earring administer drugs or a necklace detect a heart attack? So there doesn't have to be this massive divide between medical devices over here and things that we actually like over here, that maybe we can get them together. Design can change the way that we live in the world. Designers think laterally about problems and can have the most extraordinary impact on the physical, emotional and spiritual health and well-being of people. I also hope that as designers, you'll think really deeply about the impact of your work, whatever medium it might be, on the final user, and how it might improve, change, or even save a life. Thank you.